Hello, I'm Dr. Kenneth Goldberg and I'm the author of The Homework Trap, How to Save the Sanity of Parents, Students, and Teachers. Today's video clip follows a question that was raised by one of the followers of my blog, and the question is as follows. What is your opinion of how to manage parents who are absent or uninvolved? A lot of my kids have working parents and or disinterested parents. Who takes hold of the autonomy then? And this is in response to postings that I've had about parents being in charge of the home and teachers being in charge of the school. My answer for this is basically you don't control people. And I think that that once you give up the idea that you can control things that are outside your control, you actually gain more control. I don't think that it is an accident that homework penalties are as severe as they are. If you think about it, a child can get a 0, which is a super F, compared to, say, a 60, which might be an ordinary F. It has 2.5 times as much negative weight. Homework may count up to 25% of the grade, when in reality, if you put home and school time together, and then take the percentage of it that goes to homework, depending on the grade, maybe it's up to 10% of the child's classroom time. The negative weight of difficulties at home can be dramatically higher than difficulties at school. If a child is struggling with the schoolwork and the teacher observes it, the teacher has the option to go over and offer some type of an intervention or help the child out, whereas at home the teacher is only seeing the product of the work and really has no influence on the process by which the work is being done. So overall, the penalties that are being given for homework not done or for difficulties that the child has with homework tend to be very high. And I think what ends up happening, and this is human nature, is we do have a tendency to up the consequence to try to manage things that are outside of our control. But if we go back to the basic serenity prayer, which is a concept in Alcoholics Anonymous, but is actually useful in life in general, which is to seek serenity for the things that are out of your control, courage to deal with the things that are in your control, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom tells us that where the teacher has the most authority and influence is in the direct relationship with the child, and where the teacher has the least influence is going to be over parents. So we use these, we've sort of gravitated into this standard that creates high levels of consequences, which are intended to motivate parents. And it may motivate parents, but not necessarily into actions that we want them to be doing. It may motivate, well, let's look at what the writer says. What do you do with kids who have working parents? Well, it motivates the working parent, who may feel under a certain amount of stress already, to go into a frenzy. The disinterested parent, well, if the parent is disinterested, that may or may not be true. You know, it's hard to tell what's truly in the heart of another person. The person may be interested, but just interested in a different way. But let's say the parent is truly disinterested. You're not going to make that parent interested. If anything, if the child is suffering because that child comes from a home where the child is really not getting attended to, you can't give that child a better home, but you can give that child a warm experience in your classroom, and that may help mitigate some of the issues of the difficulties in the home environment. And if anything, the child may associate education and learning with that kindly teacher who cared about him or her, despite the fact that things may not be so good at that child's home. So up and down the line, it is a winner to come to terms with what is in your control and let go of things that are outside of your control. I hope that's helpful, and I do invite all listeners to leave comments either on my blog or on my website. The blog is homeworktrap@blogspot.com, and the website is www.thehomeworktrap.com. Thank you.